Alrighty, guys, what is up? I'm still getting used to the streaming thing. It tells me that I'm streaming, and I hope I'm streaming on the right channel. But either way, we are going to do something with the stream, that's for sure. Alrighty, the market is open, and it has been quite a while since I've been here doing this. Alrighty, quick look at the 5-minute here. Dropping kind of fast. And get rid of this indicator. Trying to do two things at once. Since it seems like my live settings are messed up here. Okay. Market's dropping kind of fast here. Quick review of this daily chart. This is the ES. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here. Bring up our little bar counter here. All right. So we had this big push up. We're not going to go through the whole thing bar by bar, but we had this big push up. It's been a big trend. And then we came into this range here. We kind of broke below it. And now we are pushing right back up again. In fact, we've even broken into new highs, which is pretty astonishing. This is a pretty crazy trend right here, too. You know, that that is pretty strong. If we notice, since this reversal, 82.35% of all bars have been bull bars, and only 17% have been bear bars. If we look kind of pushed up, I guess this isn't going to show quite all of this here. But the last 17 of the bars in here, see we had a lot more bear bars than bull bars. And we have this very crazy V reversal. It's pretty much brought us to where we are right now. Let's look at NQ real quick. 5-minute, we're dropping pretty quick. Let's look at the daily. Sure, it's much of the same. Much of the same. Did technically break into all new highs there, it looks like, but we are finding some more resistance here. Now we've come to a pretty peculiar place in the market. Let's go back to the ES. We have our range, which is more or less drawn out by support and resistance levels right here, here. I don't think we need to draw that. We have a break below the range and then a big, strong push up. So we have to ask ourselves, what is this? Is this a trend range fade to a new high? If so, then we've pretty much hit our profit target here. If we look at the trend going up to our all new highs here, we had, like I said, 82% bull bars. And let's look at what kind of bull bars. Really big one here, pretty good one here. Bears tried to get another leg down here, they couldn't. More bull bars in here. This day tried, it was almost a bear day, but it wasn't. And it was followed by a really big bull day. This is the moving average, and we had a really big push up right above the moving average. A little bit of follow through. Bears still trying to push it down in the middle of the range. Could not do it. And then we have these pushes up. When we have this last little leg here, we have really big bull bar, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, and suddenly a really big one, followed by an inside bull bar. What does all this mean? Well, this right here is essentially a wedge. And this big bull bar right here, while it is a break and it looks like a reasonably strong break above the high, the context behind it almost seems climactic. With that being said, the very next bar is also a bull bar. So it seems like bulls are still in control overall, but this is where we can expect bears to begin to sell. Notice one of the reasons why I say that too is because of this wedge here. And we have this big climactic bar, and thus far at least, we don't have a bear bar. We have a bull bar, an inside bull bar. Which, you know, I guess if you're just like a bar trader, you might say that that's a setup. Of course, we're at resistance and far away from the moving average. So keep that in mind too. If you put yourself in a position of a bull, or whether you agree with the sentiment or not, if you put yourself in the position of one of the other sides, and you see that, you have to ask yourself, if I really, really wanted to get in this, would I be getting in this right now as a bull, far away from the moving average at resistance? Probably not. I'd probably want to wait. Or if I did, I'd take a very small position and look to scale in lower. Just a note on the mindset that we should have as traders. Similar on the NQ, not going to talk about it. Gold, 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 gold. Gold is really turning into this broad channel. Everything for gold is getting very broad, very climatic. There's a lot of open gaps in here too. We're starting to go kind of flat. To me, at least, that increases the chances of another push down in gold, another leg down of some form. It may not even be all the way down. It may not be like a full leg. Five-minute here. Channel, break of the channel into the range. Another push down to a new low. Is this going to be a reversal on gold? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So there are some pretty strong bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice break above the moving average there. So we really want to see a break above this high here. All right, let's get on these 5-minute charts here. So remember at the open, and just kind of mark this for our own sake, no matter how strong the initial trend, there is still a 50% chance that the market will reverse again, no matter how strong the trend. That's why days that are trends from the open are so rare. The trend from the open isn't too uncommon. Trend from the open that lasts all day is. This could be an interesting reversal to take. Let's look at a little bit of pre-market context. Well, mostly ranging, breaking below the moving average, 60, the 1 hour 20 EMA. Not a lot of follow through from bears and bear bars. I don't think it's unreasonable to take this. It's kind of a weird signal, though. It's not a good signal bar at all. Sort of my issue with it. You could potentially use a strong bull bar as a signal bar. I think how far it'll actually go, though, is maybe a little bit questionable. It might do okay, though. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Might do okay. Should we take this? I gotta remember my risk calculator, how to calculate it. I think my internet is delayed here. Waiting on this bar to end. Well, I don't think we should take anything if the internet's not working. Oh, look at that. Just glitched back. All right. Whatever. I think I might want to give it a second now. I think one of my hesitations here, though, is there's not really any clear profit target. You could say that maybe the 20 EMA is your profit target, but I mean, I think you know how I feel about scalping trades. Just not really my thing. I used to dabble in it a lot more. Not really anymore. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll make more money if I scalp like I used to, but a little bit less anxiety inducing going for two for ones. I am going to sit and wait on this. It is possible, I guess, that we could get to the new high. That is possible. At that point, maybe I should just wait for a pullback and enter there. But it's hard to say that it's just going to go back to new highs when you're just looking at this area right here. It's really hard to say that. A little bit easier to say that it can get to the moving average. But if it can get to the moving or above the moving average and hold, I might still have the 2 to 1 left. I'm also coming back trying to get used to day trading again. I have not been doing a lot of day trading. Basically none, really. Been doing some swing trading, but I've even taken a break from that just to focus on some of my series tests coming up. It's interesting reading through some of these books. You know, these financial advisors and investment advisors, maybe CFPs less so. Uh, but it's interesting, in order to to have this certification, you have to know a lot about how accounts work, how these accounts work, a lot of the basics of just the market itself, a lot of law stuff, especially 65. It's a lot of laws and regs. But one thing it does not teach you to do is be a good trader, be a good investor. It gives you some ideas of some techniques that you could use, some popular strategies, but it by no means teaches you how to be good at making money in the market. It absolutely doesn't. Really does, though, just go to show the importance of uh, of just having not just knowledge but a lot of experience too. Because how could they? How could they teach you? I mean, they barely talk about price action. Most of this is macroeconomics, but price action is briefly mentioned, and talk about trend lines, support and resistance, etc. But what are you supposed to read over 600 pages of laws and regs, and then another 600 of price action? And we're going to compile this all into a test, or maybe we'll just make even more tests, as if there's not enough series tests already. All I'm really saying by that is it just goes to show that real world experience is very much needed in this industry. And if you're new and you want to be in finance, you want to get experience, and if you're someone who doesn't have a degree, well, the good news is you don't need one. You can do lots of really awesome things without one. All you got to do is work hard and put yourself out there and be prepared to wait a few years. If you do that, then you'll do fine. All right, so in gold here, talk about this briefly. I'm waiting to get above this level, and then I would like a pullback, and I will look to enter somewhere in the pullback, but I need it to prove to me that it's not just going to be in this range here. I think this might be a reversal for gold, at least a minor one. But I'm waiting for more evidence. Now, maybe if I had been sitting here at the charts all day, maybe I would have gotten in sooner betting on the reversal. I don't know. Maybe I would have taken this trade on the ES. I don't know. Probably not. We are getting above the moving average now, though, so it would be reasonable to consider entering on a pullback. That's assuming we get one. Maybe we'll just go straight up. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. I don't think that there's bears at the moving average right now. Honestly, in a way, I gotta think about my hotkeys. There we go. Let's just see what happens right now. A little bit further away from, it's a little bit far at the moment. NQ hasn't even gotten above the moving average. Something we were talking about on gold, though. Remember, we were talking about with the daily chart, thinking that there's a possibility of another leg down in here. Even if it doesn't go down all the way, it could very well just be a drop, even if it's just, 50%. We're going to be taking long positions. We need to keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that today can't be a bull day, but we have to at least have that a little bit in the back of our mind. Right now, we're not able to break this high. Maybe we'll try again. Starting to show a final flag at the top. Okay. Maybe if we're lucky here, we'll get some sort of an inside bar. And I could be willing to buy a pullback here, potentially even without a really good single bar. In other words, what I'm saying is if we have anything to the side, anything sideways, or like one bear bar down, still be willing to buy it. Probabilities, at least in my opinion, would be higher than buying this. Okay. Oh, come on. You were doing fine.
Order submitted.
I really want to pull back, otherwise I'm just going to put my stop in a stupid place. So I don't want to put it down here and just bet on the trend. And I guess my timer is off or something here. I think we're fine to take trades. I am trading small today. Just coming back, getting the feel of it again. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with the bar timer and NinjaTrader today, but something's happening. Retest that moving average and then reverse.
Order filled.
Don't got a lot of time here. Let's see if I can maybe afford a little bit more. I think I can. A little bit wider stop. Still got 2 for 1. Go a little bit under the moving average. So a little bit of a weird trade. Stop really shouldn't be right here. It should really be down here. It's just too much risk right now for me. I guess I could change to MES, but I don't feel like it. Just trade small on the ES and be fine. We're definitely going up against a bear gap in here. Looks like there's definitely some sellers in there. Big bear bar and gold. It's starting to look more and more like we're still in this range. We're still ranging. It looked like such a strong reversal, but context matters, guys. Context matters. Gotta make it market prove it to you. Once again, stop really should be down here. I'm expecting some kind of resistance around the moving average like this. Don't know if it'll come down into here or not. I'm hoping it's just going to touch the moving average and push back up more or less. We'll see if that happens or not. this does end up being a bull bar, especially if it's inside, it's going to be a little bit better signal. A little better signal than the one that I actually had. Which, granted, the one that I had was really just like a push down, kind of close to the EMA, and a reversal up on the same bar, and then, came right back down. Hey, we're at break even. Guys, as long as your reward is twice the size of your risk, you don't need to win that often to make money. Only about 40% of the time. If your average reward is 3 times your risk, it's even less. I don't remember what the exact number is. 2 for 1's pretty ideal for me. Statistically speaking, as a trader, no matter how good you are, at some point in time you will lose 6 trades in a row. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you trade, you will at some point lose 6 times in a row. Can you take 6 losses in a row? A lot of people can't. A lot of people call it quits after 2 or 3, which isn't necessarily bad. Just depends on the reason for the losses. You can take 6 good trades and have 6 losses. And that's just it. You're just a statistic. That's all. We're all just statistics as traders. I shouldn't forget that. Don't sit here and think you're special. I don't think I'm special. I can still lose this trade. I can still lose a lot of things. I don't know, I could really mess up. It's just important to remember as traders that we're not some, I don't know, I guess ultimate. We're not the ultimate trader. It doesn't exist. We're just a guy. We're just a statistic. Just sitting here waiting on this to develop some. Not really a whole lot else to be looking at. See if it'll actually go back up. In Q. Gold. Okay, so gold, 50%, pull back here. Is there going to be another minor leg up? It's possible. It's possible. Just got to remember like the context that we're in here. If you take this trade in gold, if this, let's just say that, essentially call this a micro double bottom, 50% pullback from a pretty strong leg. It's fine. It's not a bad analysis. Not necessarily going to tell you it's a bad trade, assuming we get a signal bar and then, looks like we're going to go up for another leg. If you did that, though, you have to remember the overall context here. Range, big downtrend. If you're going short here, you have to acknowledge range, shorting pretty close to the previous low, previous lows here. But you're also shorting near a shelf of support. What is the ES doing? All right. Now stop going back down. Only go up. You know, now that I said it, it's going to hit my stop loss. So I can also be left with another interesting choice here. What if we just went sideways? What if this was a bear bar, bull bar? What if we ended up with a small bear bar here? And you start to think to yourself, oh, are we starting to form like a resistance shelf? Do you want to get out, break even, or as close to break even as possible? It's something to think about. I think in this situation, I'd probably let it hit my stop loss. But we don't know. We don't know that it's going to be a bear bar yet, but it's something we have to think about. Yo, what's up, dude? How are you today? Good to see you. All right, it's a tiny bear bar. Tiny bear bar. Let's just see what happens right now. It's not super convincing. You know, if it was, it's like one tick. This one ends up being a bear bar. You know, won't be quite as happy about that. But for now, we're doing okay. We are getting past this this gap here from this bar. Looks like we got one more left. Now we're at the moving average, so completely expect there to be some sellers in here. I just don't need them forming shelves. What I mean by shelf, let's see if I can maybe find an example. kind of like this. Not really the best example, but it's in a situation where you have a push up and you have some sellers in here, and then not much higher you have more sellers. It's because they're scaling in. Bears who sold here, sold again here. And that's what they're doing in that situation. Moving to break even. It's another question we have to start asking ourselves. When do we move to break even? Kind of a tough one. I think that if we can get up here to this gap, then probably be a reasonable time to move to break even. Should give it enough space. Want to give it space for pullbacks necessary. Yeah, this is also kind of what I'm talking about. We have sellers here, a little bit higher. We have some more sellers. See if this is bull bar or bear bar. If it is a bull bar, it might be a pretty weak bull bar. I'm still willing to take a loss on it. Although I won't be super happy about it. Oops. Actually, I don't think we need that anymore. I think it's still reasonable to be long. Overall, at least. See if the moving average protects me or not. I don't think it will. I don't think there's enough buyers there right now. Oh boy, I've been in this trade for a bit now. Waiting for something interesting to happen. I definitely like the trades that go quickly. Of course, it doesn't always work that way. So, kind of going back to when we first took this trade, what I was talking about where your stop loss should be, down here. Let's just say you did put your stop down here. You would have the opportunity to scale in. So if this ended up going something like boop, 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 then you would have the opportunity to buy more down in here. And if you did that, you can make a lot of money if that's what it did. Still hoping we're going to find more buyers and have a push up. But that is not up to me. Something else you got to realize as a trader, this isn't up to you. It's not your choice. You have a choice where to buy and sell, but it's not your choice if the market goes up or down. You have no control over that. All right, come in my misery. I think we know what's going to happen here. Let's look at some other stuff. Should we be short here now? I don't think so. I don't think we should be short here. I don't think we should reverse. Gold starting to get more bearish. Once again, though, the issue is the location. Location kind of sucks. It's got to torment me first. It's got to be like, oh, I might go back up, but I might not. You really got to not take this stuff personally, guys. Some people take this really personally. And that's the beginning of bad decisions. I remember in the beginning times when I first started trading, and I'd take some losses. Excuse me, be so angry. And it just doesn't help, dude. It does not help. Just try to learn and move on. I mean, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to punch the market? Going to punch the prime minister? It would be cool though if it just reversed up and hit my profit target. That would be pretty cool. It would make my day. It really would. Notice though, throughout this trade, I mean, I'm willing to take the loss at any point, even the times when it looked like I was going to win in the moment, things were looking good. There was a fat bull bar right in front of me. I'm willing to take the win. I'm willing to take the loss. There's been plenty of times when the market has come down and come close to my stop loss and reversed back up. Happens to everyone. So let it. I mean, don't. What's the point in saving yourself that extra few bucks? Just let it, give it those extra ticks. You're fine. As long as you have a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio, you're going to be fine. I think something else that's interesting, like going through these series tests, is some financial advisors are really just salesmen, and they're like, okay, well, this one dude, this one guru, this whole industry really is focused on gurus in one way or another. This one guru at Goldman sells a subscription that I use that helps make you money because I don't know. I don't know why people use that. I guess some research tools, and whatnot, from other people can be useful. I mean, I think people would find my indicators useful. Some people do. Some people do. Some people don't. It's whatever. Uh, but I'm just like, why don't you go do that research yourself? Or I guess ones that are afraid to do a whole lot with your money. They're just putting in CDs and money markets, government securities. It's like, okay, I mean, it's a good way to invest at times, but I don't know. Anyone can do that and make a profit from it. Not anyone can trade the market and be profitable from it, though. Teasing, teasing, teasing. So mean. just refuses to end my suffering. Maybe now it'll end my suffering. Let's take a look at some other things here. Still same situation in gold, not really looking to be in that. In QES. Now we could look at this as, okay, there's some buyers in there. Maybe there will be some buyers in here. Maybe there will be another opportunity to be long.
Stop filled.
And there we go. We're finally done with that. Don't tease my stop so much next time. Alrighty. I'm looking for something else to get into, and I'm not seeing anything I want in right now. NQ looks a little more interesting here. Wonder what that'll do to the ES. And it might be fine to consider this if we have a bull bar in here. Bull, bear, bull. Might be fine to consider that. It's going to have to wait to see what happens.
Mic off. Mic on.
Still waiting for a bull bar here. Give me that bull bar. I don't really think it's going to happen. Maybe the next one, who knows? Be about a 50% pullback. This gap would have closed. Could also be like a channel down, break of channel, testing of the low. Don't know. Don't ever really know which one it is. But it's good to have a few scenarios thought out, saying it might be this, it might be that. That way, when the market eventually makes itself clear to you, you'll know the answer. You'll expect it. I think something else where people mess up is they don't realize how boring trading is. How many people can sit at a computer and stare at the screen and constantly analyze it without picking up their phone? It's hard. I've definitely struggled with it. But after a while, you kind of get used to it. Sometimes talking to yourself helps too. It's really important to not be distracted when you're here trading. I'm a little bit distracted just because I have to work software and stuff, which I'm really bad at, by the way. But whenever I trade alone, I don't have music. I have my phone. I don't look at it. If someone texts me, I might text them back. But I'm not just like scrolling through my phone. You can't scroll through your phone and concentrate on this. It's not possible. Some people are like, well, I'm in a trade. I'm going to scroll through my phone. Like, no. You got to pay attention to that trade. You have to manage it. Just like up in here, where we saw this shelf forming. Oh, wow. Some volatility here. Wow. This bar just got really volatile. I'm just going to sit and wait. I was really thinking about going long, but volatility needs to let itself settle a little bit. It's going to be a tough call if it's a bull bar. Tough call. It's kind of up there, wouldn't you say? Maybe if I get like a bull bar that's inside of this wick, that might be nice. That might work out. All right, I don't think we're going to get that bull bar. I don't think we are. What's NQ up to? Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Inside, outside, inside, and outside, inside, outside. Oof. 2 breakout patterns in a row there on the NQ. Do we want to be short NQ? I don't know. I don't know. That is the all-time high, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of surprised it's not a magnet on a 5-minute. Yeah, I don't know. Taking it short is kind of tempting. I think we're just going to hang out for the time being, though. Dang, ES is so low. Makes you wonder if NQ will follow. I really need to have my stop up there. Well, I really need to have it up there, but what the hell, I am pressing escape. Probably could have caught a short there if we were looking at it a little better. 2 indications here that there was about to be a breakout right next to each other. Oh, wow. Hello, gold. Okay. All right, gold. Let's continue to see what you got here. Lots of things to pay attention to. I need more monitors. If I'm not trading or if I'm not streaming, I can have 2 charts up. I don't think we would have done anything about this anyway. I think we would have just watched it. Myself could have seen that sooner though. Taking a chance, move to break even sooner. ES looks like it's going to touch its previous low again. So what about buying right now on NQ? Also, I mentioned NQ being a magnet or the high being a magnet. I guess it did get retested because this was all-time high. And if we look at it like this, yeah, it did get retested right here. And right there again. So yeah, that's why it's not acting as a magnet. It's because it's been retested. Well, I'll put it this way: the magnet is still relevant. It's just not as relevant on this time frame. ES, something similar here. Essentially the same thing. Retest. That was the retest. Helps put things in better context. Which hopefully, if you're trading every day, you probably should have already known that. If you're watching the charts like you should probably already know that. Alrighty, bears have hit their first profit target on ES. And Q, still working on it here. All right, we're waiting on a pullback. NQ, this is sort of an opportunity to get in. This would be, could sell under here. We just wanted to be in this. Yeah, we're probably
Order submitted.
going to the bottom like ES. We're probably going to the bottom like ES. The only question is, are we going to pull back before then? That is the issue with this trade. Maybe we shouldn't do this, guys.
Order canceled.
Because we're just going to end up in the exact same situation where we were there, where we can't scale into anything. I guess it wouldn't have made a difference, but if our stop was there, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't have made a difference in that situation, but the ES is just continuing down, looking real bearish. I think we're going to get there. I just don't know if we're going to pull back first. Should we go for it? I guess we'll go for it.
Order submitted.
I'm blaming chat if I lose. There's not even anyone in chat that's making me do this.
Order filled.
All right, so hopefully we won't have a pullback first. I do think that we're going to get down to that low. Just like I said, I don't know if we're going to pull back first or not. Patience, patience, patience. Be more like a doctor. Have more patience. Oh, come on now. Oh my God. I swear you gotta be like a tick away here. Here, we'll help it out a little bit and move to break even. Oh boy.
Target filled.
Finally. Finally. That was a little tease too, wasn't it? And just like that, we're up on the day. What are we up about 500, I guess. Something like that. A tough one on gold here. It's like a small pullback trend, far away from the moving average. Kind of a tough trade. ES, oh my word, it's just collapsing. And Q is probably going to do the same. Well, geez, maybe I should have looked over to the ES and seen it absolutely dying and stayed in Q. It's fine though. Like I said, I'm really just kind of here getting back into it. Getting back into the swing of things. I'm such a bad streamer. I really need to learn to do like the dudes who like put their P&L up on the screen and stuff. No clue how to do that. I can't even turn on like my webcam and have two cameras going. I don't even know how to do that. I'm so bad at this. I'm going to probably do this live streaming more often at some point, and I'll have to actually get good at this. But for the meantime, I guess it is what it is. As long as you can see what I'm doing and hear my voice. This is a good example. It's one of the cool things too about being live is uh, sometimes things that I talk about with others just happen. So like in this situation, took one trade for an L, Took a loss on it. And we were down for the day. Down a controlled amount, mind you. Remember, we have to be prepared to lose 6 trades in a row at any given time. Took one trade, lost. Took one more trade, won. And now we're in a position where if I did lose the next trade, don't know if I'll take another one or not during the live stream. I'm just going to watch for a few more minutes. But if I'm in a situation where I go and I take another trade and I lose that trade, then I'm probably going to be right around break even, maybe a little above, maybe a little below. So by taking another trade, I don't have a lot of profits in the moment anyway. I just got enough to kind of, secure me for the day. So basically what I'm trying to get at here is we're now in a position, and we have to be aware of this as traders, we're now in a position where we take one more trade and there's not so much risk on the board here. Because if we have just an average loss, we'll be right around break even, little above, little below. If we caught quits right now, that's fine, I guess, because the purpose of this session was really for practice more than anything. But as a trader, you want to make money. Call it quits now. A couple $100 profit's not really enough. Basically, what I'm getting at is you are in a situation now as a trader where you are almost forced to take another trade if your goal is to truly make money. Because if you make another trade, and even if you just get the same profit, like that last trade was $1,000 trade. Pretty simple, quick $1,000. Probably be pretty happy. An average person would be pretty happy. I don't know. I don't know everyone's financial situation, how much money you do or do not have. But another average trade, another average win like that is going to be worth a lot more. You're going to gain more by risking another trade because the profit potential is a lot more than your loss potential. Your loss potential is getting close to break even again on your account, but the profit potential is a pretty decent day's trading. A decent day's trading. So you have to look at it like that. Like I said, my purpose here today is to get back into the swing of things. But if you're a trader and you want to do this full time, that has to be your mindset. Alrighty, I think we're going to wait about maybe 20 more minutes for a setup. See if one pops up or not. Then we'll just go from there. I've had some people ask recently how they should handle their stock portfolio in these volatile times. It's a really good question. And assuming that you don't have a high level, I'm going to say this, assuming you don't have a high level of sophistication as a trader, just meaning that you're not constantly profitable, you're not consistent in the market. I would say the most important thing that you can do with your portfolio is average in. Every time the market has a dip, buy more. Buy more at intelligent places. Be patient and sit there and wait to buy more. I'd say that's pretty much the key, especially in these really volatile tech stocks. And you got to keep in mind, whenever you do go and you're buying these stocks and you're averaging in, you got to buy, you got to really be willing to buy at least 5 times, at a minimum 5 times. So you want to take what you can afford to lose, essentially. You want to divide that by 5, and each time you buy, you want to buy 1/5 of what the total amount that you want to put into that stock. Now, there'll be times when you only get 3 buys in. That's okay. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you won't make quite as much money as you'd like. That happens. Sometimes the opposite happens. It's kind of how I feel about IEP, just because I've held it for quite a while now. I don't know, maybe 2 years, 1 year and a half, something like that. And I'm just sitting there at the bottom, waiting for it to go back up. Not a big deal. I've pretty much made my purchases. I'm pretty much in it to win it at this point. But, I'm just sitting there waiting for it to go up. The time of buying trending assets and making money is not now. There'll be another time when that happens, but now is not the time. A lot of new traders, they start, and it's almost detrimental for a trader really to start in a bull market because they make a lot of money really quickly and then they lose a lot of money really quickly. They lose it generally a lot faster than they made it. All right, little push up on gold. Let's look to the left. It's not really a whole lot to the left there. So really big push down. Let's try to analyze this some more. Pretty much what happened. Channel, break, second entry short for bears. Which if you're a bear and you caught that, then I don't know, that's awesome. Second entry short for bears. Really big push down. Probably have a second leg down. I don't know how far it'll go though. just a lot of bears in there for there to not be a second leg. This expansion here also makes me wonder if we're going to have to wait till we get up here to take a short position. Almost like if you're just waiting for the moving average here, taking a short position here, well, it might be fine. You're kind of in the middle of everything. And you should take a half-size position and be willing to scale in. You know, just a fun little side note. I mean, maybe there's someone out there. I don't know of anyone out there who like gives this kind of analysis for free. Just I don't like jumps on YouTube and just talks about this stuff. You don't gotta join my Discord. You don't gotta pay me money. Alright guys, so I've pretty much said what I needed to say. Watch out for this expansion. If you sell here, you're selling in the middle of this expansion. And just keep in mind, while at least in the moment, it's looking like a second leg or another leg down is reasonable. Just remember, if you sell in the middle, you need to be able to wait and scale in higher. NQ and ES both. Gold, you know, probably be a little bit better off. Just at the moving average here. Probably be okay. Probably be fine. You have this shelf here too. That could be a one that you consider is also 1 pullback 2, 1 pullback 2 second entry for bears. Completed second entry for bulls, second entry for bears. So something to keep in mind. Alrighty guys, best of luck trading. Super fun coming back here and trading again. I will definitely try to be on here more often in this coming year, but I have to get some things done first. So as soon as my series tests are done and some of my other code work is finished, then I will definitely be jumping back on here a lot more often. So until then, everyone have fun, take care, best of luck trading. See you next time.
Mic off.